Firstly is the ability of these bacteria to engage with the human immune system. And that has incredible implications for a whole variety of diseases. The second area I would highlight is the whole issue of the metabolic impact of the microbiome, and therefore the potential for interventions that modulate the microbiome, be they probiotics or whatever, to actually change metabolic processes. And of course, this is very relevant because we're in the middle of an epidemic of obesity around the world, and anything that might beneficially restore that balance would be of great interest. I think the most significant advance is the fact that probiotics are being taken seriously by the scientific and medical community, and that probiotics are being subjected to well-conducted, high-quality clinical trials, as well as being subjected to high-quality science in the laboratory. Well, the more is better issue is one that comes up all the time, but there's no data. There have been very, very few studies which have actually truly looked at different doses of a probiotic in any context, whether it be in health or in a disease state. And you could make an analogy. If you were going to take a medication, you wouldn't just take any dose, and you wouldn't say that, well, if 1 milligram is good, 10 milligrams is better. First of all, it may not be better, and secondly, it may be toxic. So I think we should have the same rigor when we look at a probiotic and say, just because more sounds better doesn't mean that it may be better. My basic bottom line is here, show me the data. And for the most part, there isn't any data. Unquestionably, the gut microbiome is essential to health and may play an important role in a variety of diseases. There's a lot of interest in gut permeability for a whole variety of reasons because, for example, in inflammatory bowel disease, in celiac disease, probably in irritable bowel syndrome, an alteration in gut permeability seems to be a fairly common basic phenomenon. There's a lot of interest in interventions of any sort that might restore the tightness of the epithelium. And one of the interventions that has been shown in experimental models, at least, to influence the permeability of the intestine are bacteria. And they do this in a number of ways. And one of the ways they do is they actually have a basic molecular effect whereby they increase the distribution of molecules which play a critical role in keeping the epithelium tight. Looking to the future in terms of advances in the probiotic field, I think there are several areas that will develop. Firstly, I think we're going to see rapid development of the whole area of the science of the microbiota itself. And from that, I think, will come a lot of information which will be relevant to the future development of probiotics. The good thing is that the science is catching up. And as I mentioned already, there's been a rapid explosion in the science of the microbiome, largely facilitated by technological advances. And as more science becomes available and becomes disseminated, the credibility of the whole field increases, and with that then comes the credibility of probiotics. I would like the future to be scientifically based and the use of probiotics to be based on well-conducted clinical studies. That's going to be a challenge. It's going to cost money. It's going to involve a lot of rigorous studies. Some will be disappointing, some will be promising, some will be very encouraging. It's going to be a difficult road, but I think that is where the future lies.